Yes, Grozny Grad and the Granin Research Facility have both been wiped out without a trace. I understand, sir, but they were necessary sacrifices. Yes, the CIA has taken care of the boss themselves. I believe the White House will be satisfied. Khrushchev is finished. Your time has finally arrived. Yes, the American president is relying on us to keep a lid on the whole affair. We've got him by the balls. It should make a valuable trump card in future negotiations. Yes, Chief Director, of course. I'll keep the KGB informed. Yes, it's me. The boss has accomplished her mission. The philosopher's legacy is now safely with us, in America's hands. With this money, yes, the philosophers can finally be revived. The film we handed the Chinese was a fake. Peking must be in an uproar right about now. I'm afraid so. Only half the money has made it back to the United States. The KGB must still have part of the legacy. Yes, the weapon has been reduced to ashes. That's right. Grozny Grad has been obliterated by the Davy Crockett we brought in as well. Yes, that was the boss's work too. Speaking of which, I've obtained something from Granin that you might find interesting. It's a revolutionary new nuclear attack system. Perhaps it might just come in handy someday. Yes, we have Snake to thank for that. Khrushchev believed it as well. Yes, they bought our story. I don't think they'll be making a fuss. The secondary alert has been lifted as well. And the Soviets still haven't discovered my true identity. They have no idea that I've been triple-crossing them. I will continue my activities as a contact for the new government. Yes, it appears that no one knew that I was Adam. Of course, I'm always at the CIA's disposal, Mr. Director.
God, I love that ending. Anyway, sorry for spoiling a lot of that, but I wouldn't be able to talk about it at this point. But yeah, Ocelot was, hey, I'm a Jaguar. Ocelot was actually a triple agent, blah, 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 working for the deputy director of the CIA, the guy who Snake didn't shake the hand, so he was the one that pretty much killed the boss. So yeah, they only got half the legacy, the other half kind of disappeared. To be honest, I forget. Wow, I killed 84 people. To be honest, I really forget what happened. I honestly forget what happened to the other half of the legacy. I cannot remember for the life of me. But yeah, Revolver Ocelot was originally supposed to be Adam, the contact, but he wasn't. So he was trying to fake. The whole time he was trying to kill Snake, he was actually trying to fake it so that you would never notice. But unfortunately, things didn't go as planned. Like I said, Volgan screwed a lot of stuff up. So did Eva. So, in terms of this game is really, really damn good. The aiming system is really horrible. They really wanted you to look in first-person view. The fact that you can't move in first-person view leaves you up for, leaves you stuck in the open. So combat isn't as good in this one as it was in the previous two. It takes like 50 million rounds to kill a guy. To be honest, it takes a lot to kill one guy. So, especially on the harder difficulty levels. Um, Music's really good. The atmosphere is really good. The jungle, like I said, it starts out like you're in this hallway, giving you like previous just with jungle atmosphere, but then it opens up, broadening, doing literally you. There's a bunch of ways you could have done stuff. I didn't show you every way because there is just a lot of stuff you could do. Um, the guards' eyesight is a lot better, so they really focused on the camo, and they did a pretty good job with the camo. The only problem with the camo was the constant switching got annoying. Um, but it was really, really fun to do it. There were some other aspects that they showed that they didn't really do. I felt there wasn't, uh, like with all the Metal Gears, towards the end, there wasn't really much about stealth as it was just killing like getting the hell out of the way as much as possible. Uh, but yeah, the game was really, really well done. The atmosphere, the scenic value was everything in the scene. The constant, they were obviously talking a lot about the Space Wars and the constant like David Bowie's Major Tom references. There's a ton in there. Um, Very beautifully done. The wide selection of weapons, though half of them you don't really need to use when you're doing stealth. It does give you the option to do the Rambo style by taking your shirt off and then just going around with a machine gun. What would have been nicer is if what they did in 4 and allowed you to, when you restart a new game, you can have all the weapons you want. But they didn't. The controls, a little awkward. Like I said, it's not as good as like I remember, probably because my controller doesn't work. I used to remember the controls being a little smoother. I don't think that was the game. A lot of the problems mostly came from my controller. Uh, Boss fights, majority boss. The pain, well, is exactly what his name implies. He is a pain in the ass. The fear is not scary whatsoever. He is just stand in one spot and shoot him. If you got the goggles. If you don't, he can be a little bit more difficult, but to be honest, he's not that bad. The end. Oh, the end is like the best boss fight in Metal Gear history. He still is a really good boss fight in Metal Gear history, especially if you try to take him on sniper a sniper. And the Fury's not too bad of a one either. It can make you a little furious, but uh didn't care much for the boss fight with Volgan. I hate that one. It's just annoying. Same with the one with the final fight with the boss. To be honest, I could have done without it. I would have rather just saw a cutscene. To be honest, I thought that would have been cooler to actually see Snake defeat her. Um, she is overly powerful during gameplay because you can't do anything to her. She blocks all your shots. You can't throw her to the ground, but there's a few little things you can do. But mostly it's just you hiding in a corner and then taking pot shots at her. That I wouldn't have minded if they had left that out and just had a cutscene. I would have preferred that, to be honest. What else? The number of like different cutscenes you can get, like different outcomes and stuff like that, is amazing. This game had a lot of replay value in the sense that you could see different cutscenes or different things happening depending on how you play. Not a lot, but a few of them. What else about this? How it fits in the Metal Gear? Like I said, the philosophers, the patriots of the current time, basically use the falsehood of the philosopher's 12's name to hide who they truly are. So that's what happens. Like they said, the philosophers no longer truly exist. They're just a perpetual war machine. Um, yeah, it's a really, really great game. Really good. The whole Vulcan's just a weird. I don't care much for his villainy. I like Solidist more. Vulcan wasn't really that good of a villain. So it's kind of weirdish. Little joke with Raiden was kind of funny, but uh, a lot towards the end there when you got to Groznygrad, it wasn't as fun as I had going through the jungle. I don't much care for that last part. Um, like I said, there's a lot of stuff I didn't show you. Like I didn't show you a lot of combat. which is a shame, but let's just hit something here. I think that's about all I have to say. So as always, depending on how you play the game at the end, you'll be able to get a few things like a Patriot, or a camera, and a tuxedo for camo. Would you like to save? Yes, I would. At the end, when you've done all your stuff, save your game. You can load it back up, start from the beginning with all this fancy gear on. Play through the game once again. But yeah, this game is really, really good, and I had a lot of fun. Oh, 01 represents the number of times you played through it. This game, I remember playing it so much when it came out. I played it more than any of the other ones, just because of the sheer amount of stuff you could do. Konami. The whole fact that no one was working for Volgan and everyone was a spy was nicely done, and supposedly this was the last one, and it was supposed to explain everything. I don't know how that works. I don't know how Kojima figured everybody would figure out how it worked. But knowing what I know now about Metal Gear Solid 4 and playing this again kind of makes sense. Especially a lot of what the boss says at the end there. Kind of makes sense as to what she meant. Unfortunately, even if you play Metal Gear Solid 4, Kojima had to stick a few games, the 2 portable games in the middle, to kind of help add a bit more to how Big Boss went from this game to Metal Gear, the very first 8-bit Metal Gear, or the MSX version. So, because he doesn't really explain. I think what he really should do is just do a good 3D full plot remake of Metal Gear and Metal Gear 2 Solid Snake. That's what he should do. That pretty much explains everything, and tie it up all nicely, and then he can end the series. But yeah, this game was just really, really good, man. It really was. Everything, the atmosphere, the gameplay, the stealth. Granted, a bit slow on the stealth, but still fun. Dream. Snake getting screwed every 10 seconds. The codec calls weren't as bad as they were in the second one, but they were more useless than the second one. The second one is, at least the codec calls had some use and explained a lot of story and stuff, but this one is just like, Snake, you gotta plant bombs. Yeah, I already know that. Snake, you gotta plant bombs on fuel tanks. Thanks, I figured that. Stop calling me. But it did have a lot more funnier codec conversations, and just codec conversations that were with little extra tidbits than the other games did. But the story codec conversations were just really, really pointless sometimes. See, I didn't do any of that. But yeah, there's just... You feel so sorry for the boss by the end when you find out she was an actual traitor, but now everybody treats her as one. And all the sacrifices she had to make. She had to kill the husband of her baby. Or the father of her baby. Like I said, who was speculated to be Ocelot. So with us coming up to the credits, I think I've babbled on long enough. Sorry for taking all the time. I don't know why. If chances are, if you're still watching this, you're as crazy as I am. I just really love this game. This game was really, really well done. So folks, I'm going to end it here with Snake doing some fancy stuff, and hope you've enjoyed. Thank you for watching, and have a good day. Bye now.